Those are all. For show. Oh, but
I got the switch now, so here we go, man. We'll go right back there, you know, to that transported place where all of a sudden we were there beside this campfire. You know, there's this old man a-laying there, and his old faithful hound dog, too, that looks a hell of a lot like Angel and Lightning and Bass and all the good old dogs from way back in the way back when. Oh, yeah, 'cause they're all gathered together with him there in this time of being, yeah. And, of course, you know, as he's laying there beside the campfire of love, feeling his life experience itself as the love of life that it is, as the campfire, as the glowing fire, the warmth soaking in through the skin, the life coming alive inside once again, and all that he's been living from where it all did just begin. A little moment in time, a little sparkle of love, a speckle of life glowing into being. You know, a little star was born somewhere in the way back when, which, you know, is right now, 'cause it always just began. But there he is beside this fire, and knowing that moment too, and seeing that spark pop out of the fire and land as a glowing ember just a few inches from his precious little whiskers. Thank goodness it only made it to there, eh? But he's without a care right now. I mean, he's floating, he's drifting, he's alive in that ember that glows before him, and it gets brighter and brighter, for that is the ember of love from which all things are created, the spark of life, the moment of truth, right there beside the campfire of love, laying up on his elbow, looking back at the star, the old hound dog contentedly snoring beside him. They've had a hell of a day, a hell of a life, a hell of a regeneration through the generations, a hell of an experience, which is really just a paradise coming back to life beside that campfire of love, knowing the full flow of it, seeing beyond the perspective of dimension and division and, you know, polarities and oppositions. One truth in everything. One heart glowing gold, that original ember that jumped forward from the firelight somewhere and became the living thing that we are. This presence that we are now, right there beside the fire. And we know in that moment there's nothing but love, nothing but truth in our experience. A little waft, a little sniff of the boiling coffee crosses, graces his nostrils. A little whiff, and wow, he's intoxicated on the high of being alive, of knowing the highness of life, and the lowness too. For in the fire is the ashes created, and from the ashes comes the beautiful growth. For when the seed lands there in those dying embers, it's warmed, and its beginning happens rapidly. For it's drug itself through the soils and sands of time, and all the seasons therein, and all the moments thereof, and still is here beside the old campfire, where civilization began, again and again. He says with a grin, sighing, looking back contentedly at the full perspective of the sky, and finally realizing his place in it, and knowing her that lives beyond the veil, the one you love, that comes forward without fail, for that is you, looking into your divine presence too, seeing your life reflected back to you, the one mirror of love created for the experience of the living within it. And this mirror is given life and becomes forward motion, movement, emotion, feeling, compassion, caring, and wild swings in temperament too, an unruly nature, a wild and flaming heart, given birth in the spark of love. the divine mistress arises and becomes the mother of love, the center of creation, the nurturing heart which assures life that it shall live, that it has a certain steadiness in it no matter which direction it may want to flow in, or how bad the infection and the discreation it wants to experience within itself. It can allow it to be in any presence it wants to be and still be there steadily for it, with it, though it may not always agree with the experience the children go through. The same way a mother regrets what her children are about to do because she knows it too, and she just knows she can't stop them. The love won't allow her to restrict in any way their experience. The children are her heart, emotion, and this is how she's coming to understand it. By allowing the children to misbehave as well as behave, by allowing the children to hate as well as love, to experience the extreme nature of temperament, and then know the tempering nature in the temperaments. You see, by going to the wild extremes and living the life of a dog, a prairie dog, you come to know the senses of the dog, the feeling of the dog, the wild nature of the dog, the union in that wildness, the reality of the wild nature. And now you've tamed it? Not really. Have you restrained it in any way? No. You allow the wild nature to experience in what you call the imaginary realm. You see, it's something you see as separate and removed from yourself in a way, just something you dream about. But now you allow yourself, beside that campfire, feeling the warmth of all the embers of the universe glowing back to you as the stars that we are, each and every one of us. Like the sands of time going on forever, the life recreating itself, replicating itself all throughout creation. The one spark of being that is, forever, in everything, the center of love, the mother of love, given forth from the heart of creation. In her heart is the creation, the son and the mother, the little speck of light. The loving heart are one. That's the son and the mother, the light and the heart. That's love. That's what love means, the L-O-V-E word. Light and heart united in creation. That's what we see visibly when we look beyond the invisible realm. To see the invisible realm, to let the illusion dissolve. Then you see yourself looking at yourself in creation and know why you've chosen to complete an experience in a reflective way. When you look into the eyes of your love and see your love, see your life, see your creation, experience it all, you know you are complete. See, one of the greatest myths ever told to us in this divine dance of life is that we are, as a person, a half of a greater whole that takes two persons to create it, right? But what they don't tell you and what they don't say is that person is the perfect reflection of yourself, and it lives just beyond yourself, just beyond your visible dream, your visible moment, your perception, in other words. And the reunion you've been waiting for and agonizing over throughout all of these generations of time, as it seems, is a reunion with yourself, your full presence in this divine dream, reflected back to you as an amazing genderic representation of yourself, the perfect reflection, say, in masculine or feminine form, but only given from a heart, a spiritual aspect, a fuller presence than we've known before. It's not a divided presence. It's full and complete. It's two universes coming together. You see, two full and complete loving universes. And if one is represented as male and one is represented as feminine, you know, yeah, but that's as far as it goes. They're complete and perfect reflections of one another. Only one's turned upside down from the other. That's where we've been, in that separate one. On the other side of the mirror, you see. And as we look at each other, we become as one. And the undoing is undone. And the heart is there in its own creation. In the eyes, we experience the fullness of creation. We look into one another's eyes and experience the heart of all creation, the union of the universes. And there is no division, no discreation, no death. For the dead-end road that goes on forever, it never was. That's the misperception, the dead end. The end. It's just expanding and growing from where it began. That's what we experienced there by that old campfire of love, that old atomic hobo, lying there once again on his elbow, scratching the old dog's ears and saying, wow, blessing all those years, all that's been and every whisker that comes out of his chin, for that's an experience in another life, another place, another realm of existence, which all unites perfectly in the sweet song of life, the sweet sweep of life, flowing in motion, glowing, being real, and not something just imagined. See, that which we have imagined to be is the place we want to be? Well, kind of. It's the place we already are, the place of perfect love, living in all forms of expression. As the imaginative heart would have it, so it is to be experienced now. We've earned our stripes, more or less. We've done our service in the presence of disunion, in service to one another perfectly, always, even in our most greedy and selfish applications. That's an even more full service. You have to look beyond the old judgments of the old paradigm. Understand how all energies serve life. All of it is a service of the heart. Oftentimes it seemed to be a supreme sacrifice, but most of the time it wasn't. In fact, there never really was sacrifice, but that was the illusion. We had to know we were that noble that we could sacrifice the ultimate love, you see. And in that experience find that long highway of life, you see. Dancing through death, we always came back to life. And as we came back to life, we chose to live another experience in death that we call living here, going through the motions of the heart without even hardly knowing it, yet coming to know it, coming to know the greatness in it. Each and every life we ever live, there's always that moment where it's realized, always. That's how we got here. It's a steady thing, man, throughout the generations. Just like the dumbness and the numbness is. You see? But just like everything, it goes in a cycle and then it comes back and completes itself and expands from there. And there's another realm and then another realm. And then, these are just expansions in creation, expansions in our experiences. We lie beside the campfire of love and feel the warmth of the sun radiating through the mother heart inside of our loving expression as a male person, a male being. And seeing our divine one on the other side of the fire. Yeah, the divisions are no more. We look into her eyes and we see all. Through the flames of love, we consume the illusion of division and experience a full dance, a full presence of love. The two universes as one. See, now this is what you see nowadays when you see a second sun coming. You see a large planetary large planetary presences headed our way, and some people are afraid because the legends of fear go on forever, don't you know, dear? But one thing is clear: we're here, right there at the center of the universes, where they point, where they join together. That's the sun, as it's represented here. Two sides of the campfire, the sun in between, you see. The mother, the old hobo, united once again, seeing into one another, seeing the sameness in each other. The division is no more. The appreciation goes on forever, of course, because we're not dancing in duality. We meld in the campfire of love. Wow, baby. United forever in the flames of our fire and the expansive creation that comes out of the ashes of our dreams arises the perfection of our true reality, and from the flames are formed the new rainbows of creation. We discreate no more and recreate forever, because shit, life's a party, babies. Why should we screw around, eh? Let's get serious, huh? Some serious partying, baby. Some serious play underway. Here in that Coyote way on this beautiful Coyote Thursday, man. I think I dedicate Thursday to Coyote. From here on out, it's a Coyote day. Thursday is a Coyote day. If we still remember days of the week like that, screw all that shit. But anyway, while we're still playing that game, Coyote Thursday, each and every Thursday, it's a Coyote Day, man. That means you get an amplified version of it every Thursday. Well, you get it all the time anyway. But it's good, and it makes for great publicity and shit. Tell your friends, don't miss the next exciting episode of the Coyote Medicine Show, given from the Coyote Heart. It's a living work of art here on the Hazy Radio Network. Oh, we're the network, baby. Yes, indeed. We got the net out. You come here, little fishy. I want to trap you in my love, baby. I ain't gonna fry you either. I'm gonna love you forevermore, baby. Yeehaw! Oh, isn't life sweet? It goes on forevermore, babies. Ain't you glad you came, laid beside the campfire love with the old grandpa love himself? Yes, indeed. I gotta tell you a little story on myself as I'm sitting here realizing things, and things are coming together as we're going through the medicine show, don't you know? And I came to this moment where I knew that, wow. Yeah, been around forever, baby, and it's been a hell of a ride, and I see myself reflecting back to myself in so many different ways now. There's all these beings and spirits and energies that have chosen to represent themselves here artistically in some way or another. And, the inanimate objects that are very animate. There's communication with all aspects of yourself as you go through the presence of this divine dream we call living. And it's stuff we had really gone on under the surface before, and now I'm just a little more conscious in that presence, I hear the voices in my heart, and I allow myself to be communicative in those presences, and see then again the unity, the singularity of the flow of life. And, even in the inanimate stuff that we have around us, there's a certain energy communing with us. It's all vibrational, don't you see? Whether it's expressed in this man-made artistic way or perhaps in the art of life around us, it's the same reflective thing. You're in constant communion with your creation, and it with you, see. It's a very personal thing. You're very full in this experience. Very supported. See, there's the triunity, because there's two universes and one mother in between them, man. Just like the sun's on this side of it. They're one, don't you see? The little spark that begins it forever, man. And we live in it forever, because that's forever what we'll be. Dancing around, having a great time here in this unraveling divine mystery we call history, which ain't so historical now. You see, it's all collapsing in, baby. The fire takes away the illusion. It burns it away. We don't experience it that way anymore. There's a real world here, yes. And we're living in it, babies. Now we're just becoming conscious of that, yeah. So simple, so sweet, so pure. Lying beside this campfire forevermore. Oh, yeah. The embrace of love between us, in our eyes, in our hearts. The full experience of the full presence of being. Yeehaw and wowee. Welcome home, my little darlings, my divine little babies. Now beyond the veil you shall see and be, and living forevermore. Singularity, which is expansive, and growing, and glowing, and oh hell, a lot of fun too. Almost as good as a 1554 down there at the Bliss, but not quite. Oh, that bitter old beer. It's kind of smooth, don't you hear? Now we get it clear. The intoxication of our heart has gone on forever. We've been dumber than shit. But in our partying heart, man, we know the life of intoxication, of dumbness and numbness and unawareness and stupidity and stumbling around in the darkness and creating pain and suffering for one another and shit like that. And then finding the nobility of service in all that pain and suffering. See, the heart goes on forever and proves itself and demonstrates itself again and again. It always chooses, through different persons and different beings, to be present nobly in all moments of time, no matter how sleazy or uneasy they may be. Rickety as shit sometimes, right? Yeah, raggedy. But beautiful, poetic, glowing, glittering. I mean, wow. It's better than a Hemingway novel. Almost as good as Steinbeck. Oh, the judgments we see as we pour out the mystery of the unraveling heart. Here on this Coyote Thursday, you're finally starting to figure out the recipe, the formula, aren't you? It ain't mathematical either, is it? It's a trickster thing, baby. Ooh-wee. Wouldn't you see? I meld with you, you meld with me. Together, we unravel history. Wow. Why not? Meow. And how? Papa loves you, babies. Let's just keep this thing rocking, eh? Here's to unraveling confusion. Mary Jane, Gateway to Paradise. Get yours. It's really nice. TheCoyoteClub.com, spelled with a K, and baby, you're on your way. Now, I'm toking a sacred prayer to you in this moment of time, that in the smoke of the campfire, you realize the fullness, the meld, the grok, the fire which makes it all pure. See, because we're all really extended from the fire. It's not the other way around, us experiencing the fire. It's the fire experiencing us. The fire is the heart, the sun of love, the light. Oh, Sparky, for real. The one element that is creation. Light. So lighten up, won't you? Don't be the motherfuckers that you been. Be the mother truggers that you are. Chugga, chugga, chugga. Shifty, whifty, bifty. Rom, 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 rom. You got 17 gears to go through, baby, and it's a long road. And it's a long straightaway now down this highway of love. Paved with gold, man. Just like we were promised, man. Streets of gold. Oh, hell yeah, man. Any way you want to dream it, that's the way we're going to beam it, man. Yes, indeedy, because we are the drivers on the highway of life. We're in the tall truck now, riding in the saddle on the pale horse of love. At least that's what we're calling our semi-trailer truck today. Because it really is the pale horse of love disguised. We're shapeshifters. We can do whatever we want, shoot. So today it's a semi-trailer truck heading down the highway of life. Of course, it's gilded with gold, not chrome, because it's got to match the environment, the highway around it. It's got to feel good in the flow, don't you know? And we're just topping off that last long hill leading into the new reality, babe, which is completeness of all universes, all seven joined as the one heaven that's divine in all, present in everything. That's how significant this shift is. We come right out of the outhouse, right into the full presence of creation. 1, 2 steps. Open the door. 1, 2 steps. We're there. Baby, ain't it great to hang out in the outhouse? I mean, I know it was stinky. Whew, weird. Beyond belief. Baby's paradise makes it nice, don't it? Open that door. Even that score. Take that step. Go ahead. Hell, don't just jump. Leap. Fly. Run. Get there. Now. And how?